Okay, so you know who I am a little bit, and I want to spend more time talking about myself in the first episode, because I think the more you find out about myself and how I went from a lot of trauma in my childhood to where I am right now, maybe it may help you connect with me better, or you may be able to resonate with me better. It may mean that I say a word or a sentence or some of the experience I've had may give you hope of where you are right now. I remember there was a point in my life that I was so stuck. I was so severely depressed. And I used to crawl through all the YouTube videos to find the things that would help me get through the day, get through the hour, get through a very difficult situation. So I want to empower as many people as possible. The two key words for me, for anyone I want in my life, is to be able to, help people with freedom. Words that I live by in order for myself and for other people, for my clients and anyone I come across or are able to connect with from social media or from my day-to-day life. I really believe that I want everyone to feel empowered in their life and to feel ultimately free on all levels, which is energetic, mental, emotional, and physical. So you'll never be beholden to anyone or anything. That's what I live by. And so I want to share more about myself today because it may help you. You better get a better understanding, as I said. And it may give you help to have a pathway, a blueprint to live your best life. I really am from a place of knowing that wherever you are, no matter how stuck you are, because I've even worked with many clients in the last 7 years. I've worked with probably 1,000 people one-on-one in the last 7 years, helping them to move away from their depression, their low self-esteem, all forms of abuse, sexual, mental, emotional, bullying of all levels, and for them to be really empowered and living their best lives. And I really want to use this platform, and as a podcast, whether it's video or voice, to help anyone and everyone out there. My goal is to reach and help 9 million people. Wasn't in the next 9 years, but now we've only got 2 years left. So if I can help 9 million people in the next 2 years, that'd be amazing. Because if I help 9 million people and they feel good, they can actually help their families and their extended families, and the vibration grows and grows until you've actually helped the whole world. So that is what I want to do, and that's what I've been pursuing. I'm living my best life possible right now. Even though my life is perfect, then there are some things that are not so perfect. But I am living a life of purpose, happiness and joy in a lot of places. And I am living my best life. I'm living my dream life. But that wasn't always the case. I used to dream about having this life and I never imagined I'd get it. But I worked for it. And I want to share and impart all the information I have, as I said, so that you can feel excited and feel hopeful, and maybe that you want to do something and maybe feel this helps you. So let me start from the beginning. So my name is Samira Alexander. I'm British Pakistani. I grew up in the 1970s in the UK to two wonderful people. My father was a civil engineer. My mum was a homemaker. I was very blessed to have very warm, loving parents. Very, very lucky. And they were the two people in my life who really gave me a lot of strength, understanding, helped me understand how it's so important to help others. And it gave me a lot of blessings. You could probably see the photographs behind me of them in the younger days. So, as I said, I grew up in the 1970s, and my first few years were good. I mean, I was in the nursery school and life was great. And I can still even remember the taste of the orange drink I used to have in this kind of beige little beaker. I used to paint, and the nursery school teachers were so sweet and lovely to me. But then things changed and I had to go to primary school. And that's when my trauma started. As soon as I started going to primary school, I started getting bullied. I had to deal with a lot of racism. And even if you see my hair is blonde and, it was dark and, I didn't know that, what racism was. And I was bullied constantly, and especially in the first 2 weeks of going to primary school, I was being bullied. And then from that point, I went from one school to another school to another school being bullied. I mean, some people would say dirty packy, other words would be said, and I was just really shocked. I didn't understand. And then I used to see my parents having to deal with racism as well and being called names, etc. So that really had a huge negative impact on me over a period of time. And even when I did speak up about it, I didn't get the support I needed at that time. So really, if there was any trauma in my life, that was where it really had a huge negative impact on me. And it meant that my self-esteem really dropped severely. I wasn't able to, I used to suffer from a lot of social anxiety. I couldn't even pick up the phone and make a phone call. That was how nervous I was. And I developed an inferiority complex. And even though I still tried to push through it, it was always there in my nervous system, in my mind. I just felt really less than. And it meant that I ended up becoming a people pleaser. It meant that I became someone who just wanted to seek validation on the regular, basically, and had a lot of fears. And then basically into my 20s, I started working, I studied, and I kept pushing through all of those traumas. And it wasn't until I started doing some therapy work that really helped me, and I realized, I'm going to go through all the people who helped me in my life. There were 5 key people in my life that really helped me transform and grow at each part of my life. And the first one was Kim in my early 20s, which I'll talk about next time. And then there was the amazing Marissa Peer, who really transformed my life when I was 30. And then I grew from there, and I grew and I developed. I became a global macroeconomist. I became a real estate forecaster. So I was a high achiever. But that self-esteem issue was still there until I met Marissa, who really did help me overcome that. And then over a period of time, again, I've made some mistakes, meeting the wrong people, the wrong guys, still was being a people pleaser until I really started working on myself at that time in my 30s. And from then on, I grew and grew and developed myself. And I still made mistakes. But now today, I've been able to move from a corporate career that I had, created a real estate portfolio from 6-7 figures to 6-7 figures. And then I transformed myself to move into healing, which was always my purpose. 7 years ago, I trained in kinesiology, RTT hypnotherapy, and some other modalities. And that helped me catapult me into the work of healing and transforming others, because that's my passion. And as soon as I started following my passion, following my own purpose, my life completely changed. Being in alignment, when you're following your purpose and passion, your life just flows. And I'm still not saying that it's perfect, but it flows when you're in alignment with yourself, when you're in alignment in your purpose, your passion. And I've been able to grow from no clients whatsoever to a 6-figure business, to be able to man and serve so many clients. As I said, I've worked with over 1,000 people already. And I get to live in my dream city. I used to dream about living in Dubai many years ago. And basically that, I didn't even know if that would materialize until 14 years ago. And now I live opposite the sea with a beautiful sun every day, on most days, apart from when the cloud seeding is happening. And then I get to see my clients. And I've grown and developed into this thing, and I'm extremely happy with what I'm doing. And I want to share all of this with you because I believe that you can do anything you want. I'm sure that people right now are feeling so stuck, and especially with the fear of the recession, some people losing their jobs. And I've lost my jobs before, and I've picked myself up. So I want to empower as many people as possible. I want to help. I'm giving my hand out to raise as many people as possible, whether it's working with me one-on-one, whether it's through my podcast, whether it's through social media and giving away free things, or me just talking, just to help you, to help anyone, to help them to get to that next level. So that's really my nutshell kind of story, and probably I will go into more deeper in each episode I would definitely be interviewing some of my healers who helped me transform my life over the years. And I've already asked them, they've said yes. And you never know, Marissa may come onto the podcast as well. But in the meantime, that's so much from me right now. And I'm sending you lots of love and peace. And hope this was an interesting insight about myself. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode.